Maryvale opened Seton House 2.5 years ago. And Seton House is for single moms who are just, down on their luck, going through it, homeless, couch surfing, fleeing domestic violence as well. Single moms with kids 10 and under, and maximum of 2 kids. And when they get there, we kind of just let them breathe.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from, in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. We bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. If you're into that, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We do appreciate it. Well, it's been a week since our last episode, but we just had our event. So people, if you're listening to this, it may be in March or maybe even April, right? But what a great event. What a great turnout that we had. I couldn't have done it without Victoria here. And it was quite stressful, but in the end, it came out really well, I think.
Yeah, it was really good, and you did a great job, Russell.
Oh, thank you. It's no secret that you are one of 6 siblings, right? And so we've sort of shared a little bit about your experience as one of 6, but your mom primarily was home educating, but also parenting during that time. And I'm sure you must have seen some challenges that she experienced during that.
Yeah, I think it would probably be hardest when we were all little, and she would all have she'd have to carry us or make sure that we're all together, and we all have to go to all these same events or grocery shopping and all that, and everybody gets in the car, everybody gets shoes and all that. But as we grew up, I think it became we could start taking care of each other, and so she didn't have to lug everybody around with her all the time. But yeah, I think it was pretty hard on her at times.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember your mom talking about, I don't know if it was Charlotte Mason, but some mother who had a lot of children, I think maybe 16 or 17. And she said the only piece that she had was to put her apron over her head, because even the toddlers will follow you into the bathroom, right? They're knocking on the door and there's no peace there. I grew up with my mom. I visited my dad every other weekend, but my mom was primarily a single mom, and I saw her in her struggles and getting us out the door and then going off to work and then having to arrange for childcare and sports and all this while she's working. And if anything happened, I can imagine now the stress of being away at work and then having to deal with whatever is going on with the kids. It's tough. It's very tough to be a parent. Even in the best situations, it's tough. And to not have support as a single mom is really, really tough. I'm sure single dads as well, but I think there's probably a lot more single moms out there. So I'm just going to say single moms. But I'm excited to get into the guest today, and especially the story of what she's coming to represent. But before that, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring the delicious pastries for this show, as they do every week. We just had our event there, and Jason and his team is really great supporters of the show, and we really appreciate what they do. Please go check them out at Paris Baguette and let them know we sent you. In the heart of Rosemead, Maryvale has been making a difference in young lives since 1856, starting as Los Angeles's first orphanage and transforming over the years into a beacon of hope for children and families in need. Today, Maryvale provides a full spectrum of support from mental health services to transitional housing and educational programs, all focused on helping children and families heal and thrive. With a commitment to creating a safe, nurturing environment, Maryvale's team is on a mission to uplift and empower those they serve, fostering resilience and new beginnings. we are thrilled to welcome a special representative who's here to share more about Maryvale's incredible work and community impact. Join us as we dive into the story and mission behind this cherished organization and learn how they transform lives every day. And here to bring it all to life, Torres. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. When we first chatted, you were like, oh, I've heard of the podcast.
Yes.
And you were like sort of excited. Actually, it wasn't going to be you coming on the show.
No, it wasn't. It was going to be my direct supervisor with another mom. Unfortunate events happened and she's like, can you step in? And I said, yes, I'd love to.
So I was thrilled to see that you were excited to come on the show. And we sort of chatted about our San Gabriel Valley connections,
yes.
Right? So why don't we start there? What is your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
I was born and raised here. I was born in Pasadena, Huntington Memorial, and my parents grew up here in Rosemead, and I kind of was raised here my whole life till now. Now I'm raising my kids here.
And you said you went to San Gabriel High School.
I did. I graduated 2006.
And then your children go there.
And now my two kids go there, Robert and Roxanne. Very excited for them. They are in the semifinals this weekend. They play Costa Mesa. So I'm very excited.
In football?
In football, yes. My son is a lineman, offensive lineman, and my daughter is a varsity cheerleader.
What is that like as a parent who grew up here, went to San Gabriel, and then now seeing your kids go there?
It's so awesome. It's like a full circle moment. Me going there, my parents, my mom went there, my dad went to Keppel, and we're a big sports family. Like, it brings all of us together. I have two younger sisters. My baby sister went to San Gabriel for a little bit as well, and then my middle sister went to Royal High School in Almani. And sports is the way we all like connect. And every weekend we're at a softball field, we're at a football game, we're somewhere.
That's what it was like for you growing up as well?
Yes, I grew up cheering, playing softball. It's funny because I grew up, I don't know if you've heard of Rosemead Rebels football, cheer, and youth organization. They've been here forever.
I think I heard through Audrey Gordon.
Yes. Yeah, so our kids go there. I played there. My dad played there. My grandpa coached there. So it was a thing to do. My cousins played there. So every weekend we were there, and it was more like a family setting than anything. And then the love for football.
You're really here to represent Maryvale.
Yes.
Before we get into that, like, how did you get connected and with Maryvale?
Well, it's funny. Maryvale is a very big campus. I don't know if you've had the chance to go by or see it. It's very big. My grandpa, who lived in Rosemead his whole life, his house actually connects to Maryvale. His backyard leads into the Maryvale campus. So growing up, we always knew that was Maryvale. That's where the girls, lived who didn't have homes. So as an early age, I knew, Maryvale, like I knew what they did. My dad grew up there.
Where is it located?
On Graves in Rosemead. Right, the cross streets are Delmar and Graves.
Delmar and Graves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad grew up, right down the street. So he could hear the kid. He's in the backyard playing. He could hear the girls playing in the backyard. So I knew of Maryvale at a very, very early age. I was looking for work last year because where I was working all the way in San Fernando Valley, and I live in Rosemead. It was a drive. It was just getting too hard. And I seen Maryvale was, hiring. And I was like, wow, like this is the same field I work in. Like, let me give it a shot. And I was able to interview, landed the job, and I've been here ever since.
And what field were you working in?
I've been in the homeless services field for about 12 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Very.
And so you had a initial connection. You knew about them from a very young age.
Yes.
And it sounds like you lived also pretty close to them.
Yes.
And you were already in homeless services. And what got you into that?
Long story. The program that I serve, the Seton House, it's just to talk a little bit about it. It's for single moms. I am a single mom. I've been raising my kids by myself since they were 3 and 4. At that time, I had no work. I was on welfare. And there was a program. It's called the TSC program, kind of like a welfare to work program. And it was basically, hey, get your butt to work. They offered free childcare, which I took total advantage of. And they were kind of like a internship. They would place you somewhere to get your work skills up. I knew how to work. I worked at Sears when Sears was in Montebello. I worked at McDonald's. I had little jobs here and there. So I entered this program, and they kind of teach you how to do a resume, how to interview, stuff I already knew how to do. I just needed help with childcare and getting there. So I started this welfare to work. They said, can you file paperwork? Can you answer a phone? I said, sure. So they placed me in this program in Almani, and I was answering phones, and it was a homeless services access center. And it was just a center with resources, families with children, adults looking for shelter. And I kind of just screened these people like, hey, I need this. Where can I find this? And I just kind of routed them to the departments. And I passed the internship within 2 months. And at that time, my supervisor is like, hey, I need an outreach worker. You know what you're doing. You know how to do the paperwork. You know how to answer phones. Do you want a job? And I said, sure. And that's kind of how I got started. I started as an outreach worker. And that was just going around San Gabriel Valley in the vans, looking for, people who needed services, whether they were in the street, whether they were in the canyons, whether they were in tents. I just provided the services we had, and that's how I got started.
Were you a single mom very early on? Like, were your kids very little?
Yes, I graduated high school, was hanging around with the wrong crowd, partying. I dropped out of college, and then I got pregnant with my son at 19. Had him, and then right after I had my daughter, and things just weren't working out with, the father of my kids. I kind of had the courage to, hey, this is not working. You go your way, I'll go my way. And yeah, it didn't work out. And I kind of just did it by myself. I left that situation when they were about 3 and 4. My son was 4, about to be 5. My daughter was 3, gonna be 4. I had a village, of course. I had my parents. I had his parents, his family, very involved with us as well, helped out. So I was by myself, but I wasn't by myself. But for the most part, enrolling them in school clothes, getting them to school, making sure, getting things that had to be done. It was on me.
Yeah, and those are just the administrative things. And then there's all the things that you wish to do and wanted to do as a parent to give them experiences.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very tough to do by yourself. You found an internship that eventually led to a job in this area. Yes. And so now you're sort of on the front lines and seeing what people in need are needing, actually, like where they're needing services. Mm-hmm. And so you're sort of guiding them to get access to services.
Yes.
Sounds like. How did these people, so you were working for 12 years, but not all the time with Maryvale.
No.
And you're doing outreach. So what does that look like?
Outreach was my first real position in the homeless services, and it was an eye-opener. I grew up very sheltered, never went without. Both parents, dad hard worker, mom hard worker, very family-oriented. So when I went out to these outreach events, it was, serving the public, going to events, spreading knowledge, spreading awareness, but then going into the deep outreach was like going to the riverbeds, seeing these people in tents. I remember going to the canyons because we got a call from like deputies. Hey, there's these people out there. Can you go see if they want some help? I remember seeing a shower, like a shower made in the middle of the canyons. I remember seeing a kitchen like made, and like these people are in survival mode. They're gonna do what they have to do to get what they have to get. So it was I remember taking pictures of this, like what I saw, and sending it to my dad, and he's like, oh my God, be careful. But it was just amazing, like seeing what, you know, these people did just to survive out there. So outreach looked like that, going out to riverbeds, going out to, you know, just the city and people who are sleeping on the floor. Hey, do you need help? A lot of them didn't want to accept help yet. And a lot of them were like, thank you. Yes. Like, this is what I need. It was fun. I loved doing that. I did that for 2 years.
Do you remember a time when you were ever like struck by someone's refusal of help?
Yeah, it's more common than you think. It's just like, why do you choose to live like this? Why do you choose the struggle? But I get it, you know, I was hard-headed once too. My mom, you know, she hard worker. She's, you know, she came from Mexico at an early age, and I see her, and that's kind of how I was like, oh my God, like trying to talk to these people, like, why do you choose to struggle? But people are not ready. A lot of people are scared. What's to come, the unknown, the struggle to get where you want to be. It's hard. So yeah, sometimes I want it more, like my mom's at the house. Sometimes I want it more than them.
And how do you know when it's time to stop pushing?
When you're constantly reminding, you have to constantly, you know, sit with them and, hey, like, you've been here for so many months, you know, this is our goal. You haven't even taken the first step. Like, what's guarding you? What's blocking you? And then that's kind of where I sit down with them, and I'm like, okay, there has to be something more, some past trauma. Why are you scared? What's going on? So we try to get down to the nitty gritty, like, what's stopping you? Like, there's something there that's stopping you. We have to figure it out, what it is. Sometimes they're not ready to tell us. Sometimes they're not ready to get the help. Sometimes they're not ready to take that first step. And we can be patient with them, but again, you know, it's a program. There's only so much time we have.
It's clear that you have a real understanding of these people's need, right? And I think there's probably no greater way to educate yourself on that than going out and seeing them face to face. Was there ever a situation where you felt you were in danger?
I'm not going to lie. After I did my internship with, you know, the program I was with, and then I did my outreach program, I landed another position within the same company on Skid Row.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was working down on Skid Row for about 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Right in the heart, on San Pedro and Crocker. And that's it. When I first went there, I mean, I drove by when we were little, you know, going to the alleys and stuff like that. But never did I was there, like walking. So I was there for 5 years. And when I first went there, I was like, oh my God, this can't be, this is America. This can't be real. People walking out there naked, high as a kite, not knowing what's going on, talking to themselves, a lot of drugs and mental health. But after being there for so long, they don't bug you. They're people. They're looking for their next move. I've never felt threatened. There was one time there was a shooting that happened around the corner from where I was working. There was a shootout. 2 tents were going at it. I think it was like a drug deal gone wrong, from what I know. But we were barricaded inside. We couldn't leave. I remember being there till like 8 p.m. And I couldn't leave. I had to make sure someone was able to get my kids from school because, you know, safety precautions. We couldn't leave. So that was probably the first time I was super scared.
Wow.
Yeah.
An old client of mine who was a retired police officer used to work that area. Mm-hmm. And he said that the smell was very overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. You'll never get over that smell, ever.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing. That smell, I don't know what it is. It's just a mixture of everything, but you'll Yeah, that smell is
And you did that for 5 years.
5 years. I worked with the reentry population, men getting out of prison and, just looking for a second chance. I was helping them get, whether it was work or school, I would help them write resumes, help them get interviews, help them get clothes for interviews, and just helping them get a second chance at life.
So it sounds like you already had a lot of experience before you arrived at Maryvale.
Yeah, I've touched a lot of populations. Being an outreach worker was every population you can think of. Then I went into the reentry field, helping these guys, get on their feet. From there, I went to veterans reentry, the veterans who served our country, but, got into a little bit of trouble, whatever that looked like, and getting out of prison as well. Helped them. And then from there, I worked my way back into the shelter life. I was working in San Gabriel Valley, and that was interesting. There are these tiny homes that the city, contracted with another organization. And these tiny homes are like little sheds. And it's for, the homeless. That was interesting as well. And then from there, I moved to Maryvale, and now I'm serving a population that is so deep to me that I'm super passionate about, single moms with kids.
What are the services that they offer for single moms and kids?
Yeah, so Maryvale opened Seton House, I want to say 2.5 years ago, right after COVID. And Seton House is for single moms who are just, down on their luck, going through it, homeless, couch surfing, fleeing domestic violence as well. They, single moms with kids under 10 and under, and maximum of 2 kids. And when they get there, we kind of just let them breathe. We let them settle in. They get a bed. They get 2 beds, one for them, one for their kids. They get their own shower, their own restroom. It's kind of like a studio unit. And then they share communal living. They share like the kitchen. They share the dining room. We have a playroom just for the kids to play. We have a computer lab. If, they need to go to school, they need to work, that lab is there for them to do whatever they have to do. We have a backyard where they can hang out. They can play with the kids. We have what else? We have a swimming pool on site. So in the summer, which was cool, I didn't know they had a swimming pool. So every Saturday we would take the moms to hang out, swim for a couple of hours, and then head back to the house. The services, we provide are case management services. And that's just to keep them on track with their goals. It is a 6-month stay, the program. So it's not a lot of time, but just enough time to, get them back to where they have to be. We have, therapy services, mental health services on site. So they don't have to, a lot of them don't come with cars. So they don't have to worry about getting there. The clinician can come to them, therapy can come to them and their children. We also have the early education center on site as well. They can walk 2 minutes and drop their kids off and go to work, go to school, whatever they have to do.
In your time there, have you seen someone who's come in really down on their luck come out the other end, much better for it?
Yes. Actually, one of the moms, she just left, I want to say in September. She came in with her gorgeous son, and, she had a rough childhood. She lost her grandma, who was her heart and soul and kind of raised her. And when her grandma passed, her grandma took a lot with her. And ever since then, she was homeless. She didn't know what to do. She went to an outside agency for help, and they referred her to us. We got her connected with all of our services, even got her to work on site with us as well at the early education center. So not only did she get to take her son there, she was able to work there as well. And then, doing what she had to do and taking in all the services. And by September, she was able to obtain her own apartment for her and her son, and still doing what she does, still working here, still has her son in school. So it was, and during her stay, she faced a lot of challenges, but we were able to, stick right by her and help her through it.
As a center who takes in women who have experienced or are experiencing domestic violence, like there has to be a level of like separation and security, right, for them.
Yeah, we, we definitely, we're not a domestic violence shelter. That's, so it's not very secluded, but, we do take safety, like it's a big part of our program, our safety precautions. We have security on site. We also pre-screen our moms very thoroughly. And that kind of looks like a list of questions. What kind of background these moms have. Like, are you in recovery? Have you been in prison, jail, anything like that? I believe in second chances. So if we're not able to bring them on site due to, the severity of the criminal record or their recovery, we definitely, provide other resources for them. And the reason for that, is because we have children on site. We have the school on site, so we cannot take high acuity, moms that are severely mentally ill or heavily in their addiction due to the kids being on site. So we do screen them.
When you say on site, I imagine like a compound. Like, is it enclosed? Is it like a large house? Like, what does it look like?
So it's a big campus. You should come by sometime.
Is it made of brick?
Yes.
I think I have been there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful campus. Some people are like, it looks like a college, and it's gorgeous.
I think I went there as a child to visit my sister there.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, that's why I like when you said where it is, and then I said, because I remember that it had brick, and then I remember she was on a swing, like in a area there.
Really?
I have another memory of it, but I think yeah.
It's a beautiful brick. There's several buildings in there, but yeah, it's when you drive in the big gates, it's so peaceful. You see squirrels all over the place. You see, we have our sisters on site as well, nuns, and they're feeding the squirrels. It's so peaceful there.
I wonder if they even have record of that. I'm pretty certain that that's where it was.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it like a dormitory style or?
It was because of the orphanage and in the youth that were there, but now it's more like, I want to say, more like an apartment setting. They do get their own room with the restroom, shower, beds, dressers, 2 closets. So it's kind of like I don't want to say like a hotel setting kind of, but not really.
And are there activities or programs like all the people are engaging with each other?
So like I said, these moms do have to participate in case management. And that's just to keep them on track with their goals and what their, the end of the road looks like. We do hold house meetings as well every other Thursday. And the house meetings are to, just keep them on track. Hey, like this is what's going on in the house, any activities or events we have around the community, we keep them posted. Also just keep reminding them of house rules, because they do have rules, we do have policies. And then we also invite workshops in. So we invite other agencies to come in and share like what they do, so we can bring back resources to these moms, whether that looks like domestic violence classes. We held domestic violence class that my case manager hosted, did a very great job. It was a 4-week course. It was about an hour to 2 hours. That was a little emotional. A lot of moms couldn't sit there. It was triggering for them. And I did let them know, hey, this is going to be a sensitive subject, so I understand if you guys need to walk away, if you guys need to take a breather, just let me know. We do financial literacy, meeting with the moms one-on-one, just to see, hey, what does your budget look like? Can you afford to live out of Seton House? And then a class as well, going over what a checkbook looks like, what savings looks like. We had another agency come in and speak about tenant rights, your housing rights. When you do leave here, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Do you know what you're signing? Do you know what a lease looks like? Just basic skills, life skills, we teach them.
I would imagine that a large barrier to women leaving domestic violence situations is financial, right? Where are they going to live?
Yeah.
How are they going to afford things? Could a woman who is just, living okay but wants to get away, like, reach out to Maryvale for that?
Yeah, we can. We don't take in walk-ins. They have to be referred through an outside agency. And that's kind of to give us a background on the mom. Hey, you've been working with this mom. What do you see? What are their patterns? Just kind of go deeper into the case and what it looks like, what kind of mom we're bringing in. We also think about, the other moms that live there. Are they going to fit in? Are they going to, the culture? Are they going to be able to handle, this type of setting? So we do go on a referral basis. We send out a referral. The next agency will fill it out as detailed as possible and then send it back to us. And then after that, we'll call the mom ourselves and kind of just go over the referral again and see what they have to say. And then we invite them in for a tour of the place because, you have children. I'm sure you want to see where you're going to lay, where you're going to live. So we invite them in and we kind of go down the list of rules, the list of policies. Hey, this is what you're getting yourself into. This is what the program looks like. Is this something you're going to be able to do? And then we kind of go from there.
How many people at that point would say no?
You'll be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a few, moms who are like, I can't do that. We have a curfew, you have to be in by 10. And a lot of moms are like, no, I don't know why. I don't ask why. I don't go into too much detail, but there's...
We ask each guest to bring an item with them. What did you bring with you today?
I brought this hat. A lot of people are like the Cincinnati Twins. I think this is Cincinnati Twins. But it means a lot to me. This was my grandpa's hat. And my grandpa, I mentioned him earlier. He's the one that actually, his house leads into Maryvale. He passed away in, I want to say 2022. He passed away. And he was kind of like our glue. He was a single dad. So he raised my dad and 3 other siblings by himself. And that was pretty odd back in the day. And he's kind of the one that started all this sports stuff and kept us all together. When he passed away, it was really hard on all his great grandkids and his grandkids and, my dad. But I have it on my wall in the living room with my kids' trophies and stuff because he kind of started, the sports activities. He was always at our games, always our biggest fan. And then just seeing what type of man, he raised my dad. He's very much missed. But I have this. My sister has, other things from him when he passed away. My step grandma was like, "Come get what you want." So also it was Veterans Day yesterday, so he was an Army vet, so he's heavily on our mind this week. But yeah, that's what I brought. I wish I had other items for my grandparents on my mom's side, but my mom has all that stuff. So I was like, I'm going to bring them today.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that in and for sharing that story with us.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was really important to you.
He was.
Well.
He was.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, but when we get back, I want to get more into Maryvale and other services that they offer.
Sometimes, even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh!
Their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Ree. Ree, before the break, you were sharing about your grandfather and the meaning and importance he had in your life. Before we go on to Maryvale and the other services that they offer, when we come back from the break, we like to ask a question from this deck of cards called Icebreakers, and it's just another way for the audience to get to know all of us a little bit better. So Victoria and I will also answer this question.
Okay.
We cheated a little bit today because we looked at the question. Okay. What's the thing you like that creeps other people out?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one.
I can go first. You can go more time to think.
Yeah.
Okay. I like watching like YouTube clips on paranormal activity or things caught on camera. I don't like the Hollywood version of that, but just people like either they're camping and things are like they hear something. Like I like that. It kind of scares me a little bit, but I do like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I would kind of say like Doctor Who. Might not be creepy to a lot, maybe most of people. I don't know, but most of my family is they get a little creeped out by some of the episodes.
Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that's about.
It's a British show about it's like sci-fi, time travel, aliens and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same. I would say like the murder documentaries.
Oh,
My
okay.
daughter is very loves all that crazy stuff, and she kind of got me into it. Not so much like horror films, but definitely like the Charles Manson murders. I think it's so intriguing. I think it's a little crazy.
Yeah, true crime is very, very popular.
Yeah, and being that I work with mental health and stuff, it's kind of wow, I wish I was in their head. What were they thinking?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So if you're watching or listening, what's the thing that you like that creeps people out? Let us know in the comments. So, Ree, back to Maryvale.
Yes.
So they offer, I think you said Seton House?
Seton House.
Seton House as a sort of a bridge for mothers who are struggling.
Yes.
But there's also other services that Maryvale offers.
Yes. So we also have early education on site. It's just early education for children. It's kind of like a preschool, and they take from 0 infant to about 5 years old till they have to go to school-aged school, to elementary. And it's amazing because they're 5 seconds away from us. Our moms can go and drop off, their kids so they can get to work or school. So that's one service we provide, and that Seton House is more like a private program, but the early education center is open to the public. They're open to they do have a waiting list because we do have a lot of kids, and we have the Rosemead site, we have a Duarte site as well, and then they just opened an Almani site as well for early education.
And I forgot to ask, what is the cost or fee for a mother looking to stay there?
So at the Seton House, it's totally free. All we do is ask them, to save. They get free meals there.
Free meals too.
Free meals, free on-site laundry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they get all these great opportunities. So we just ask them to save because there's gonna come a day where it's time to head out to the real world, and you're gonna need as much money as you can out here. We ask them, to buy their own items if they can, like laundry detergent, their hygiene, because that's a life skill. You're going to need that later. No one's going to give you free stuff after. So we just ask them to, laundry detergent, hygiene, diapers, wipes. If, there's an emergency, we do have that, on hand as well to give to them in case of an emergency.
And the early education is also free.
It's free to some families. I know it's state funded, so I know there's some fee to it. I'm not too sure what the fee is, but to our moms, it is free.
And what other services? We
do have CBS, that is known as community-based services, and that's mental health. It's an awesome program. It's open to the public as well. I know, they have they have clinicians, they have therapists, and what's cool about that is they get to come on site. We have one actually based at Seton House now. He's been there. It's a new position, and he's been there about 3 months. But it's awesome because he can help these moms and they're having a bad day and I'm busy doing something or my case manager's meeting with someone. He's there to, hey, what's going on? You know, you're having a bad day. How can I help you? Maybe we can fix it. So it's awesome to have these moms get these kind of services that they need.
Is that only available to the moms that are at Seton House?
No, it's available to the public.
And how does the public get access to those services?
They can call. They can call us at Maryvale, and then they can get an assessment date or an intake date with a clinician that's available. It's a big program, and they actually go to the schools as well. You know, they go to San Gabriel High School. They have a connection with Alhambra Unified School District as well, to reach out to the youth because they do have substance abuse programs as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other services?
We have the Shower of Hope that's also on site. They're kind of outside of Maryvale, but they're on site, and that's for the college students that are homeless as well or not stable in housing. And they're on site as well.
Lots of services.
Yeah.
And with a 6-month rotation of like they have to be gone, like you're just constantly going through new people.
Yes. Sometimes, you know, if moms are not doing what they have to do, unfortunately, we have to move them on. And that's either looking at, you know, reaching out to another organization. Hey, you know, this mom didn't fit this program. Do you think she'll be able to fit your program? And then a lot have been successful. I just had one of my moms move out this month at the beginning of the month. And I'm very excited for her.
For the moms who may be on the fence or not sure or maybe even a bit scared of the process, what would you want to say to them?
I would want to tell them I understand the struggle. I've been there. It looks scary at the beginning, but you're a superwoman and these kids depend on you. And you can do anything you put your mind to if you have a little support. And that's what we're there for. We're there to support you every step of the way, whether it's, you know, just getting documents you need or just referring you somewhere. We're there to help you. We're not your enemy. It may look like we're pushing or we're hard on you guys, but it's something that can be done if you just take the steps to do it.
Ree, we're going to move on to the final segment of the show. Okay. And I know you're here representing Maryvale, but this is going to be your way to share what you like in the San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
So, Ree, this is what we call the SGV3. We get to learn your 3 favorite or most memorable places or experiences in the SGV. Okay. So, you said it was pretty easy to narrow down.
I was just having this conversation with my kids. I said they're going to ask me what are my favorite 3 spots in San Gabriel Valley. And I said, you guys pick 2 and let me know, and then I'll pick 1.
Okay.
So my son was like Jim's Burgers, because I said, I don't know if like you can pick food places.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Jim's Burgers, and I know there's like a couple of them, but he said the one on Valley.
Jim's Burger on Valley.
Yes.
Valley near.
Right here, Valley, and in between Walnut Grove and Rosemead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's kind of like a spot we all go to, my parents, my grandpa, after games. My daughter didn't really say anything. She was just like, oh my God. One of my favorite spots, like I took them as a kid, was the canyons. It's not too far. If it was a hot day, just jump in the river, take sandwiches, and just spend the whole day up there. No phone, no service, just hanging out.
I think a lot of families don't realize how great it is for recreation with kids in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Like beautiful scenery and nature, and you can cool off in the river.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were there all the time, whether it was camping for a few days or just taking a drive up there.
And is that like the East Fork? Is that where you guys would go?
Yes, okay. I believe so. Right past like the bridge, when you get over the bridge, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And what's the third place?
I'm going to say Petrillo's Pizza.
Okay.
Right here. Like Tuesdays, I know they have a Tuesday special. My dad would always come home from work, I got a pizza, and it would always be, he will not eat any other pizza but Petrillo's. And
Really?
he lives in Fontana now, so my mom's like, he's driving over there for Petrillo's. I'm like, oh my God.
And they've been there forever.
Yeah, forever. I've never really ate at the restaurant, just always got the pizza.
And what makes it unique is like just a mountain of toppings, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing those with us.
Yeah.
So if people are wanting to connect with Maryvale, you said it can't be walk-in, like they have to go through some other way.
Yeah.
What's the best way to do that?
They can reach me via email or via cell phone. I don't know if you want to
It's up to you.
Okay, so my email is rtorres@maryvale.org. And whether it's just information that you need, I can give that to you. Whether it's a referral that, a worker needs, I can give that. Or they can call me at 626-566-1679.
And R Torres is RTORRES.
Yes.
At Maryvale.org.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, Rhea, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing
you for having me.
Your stories and what Maryvale has to offer the San Gabriel Valley here. Well, there you go. Another episode in the books. I didn't know that this service existed in the San Gabriel Valley, and sort of in the last maybe several months where we've been exposing these wonderful services that exist here in the San Gabriel Valley that are available, and many of them for free. And it's just amazing that they're out there. And I guess if you're looking for it, you may find it. Like I'm not looking for it, so I'm not aware of it. But I do hope that if you know, or if you yourself are a single mother or know of a single mother who's struggling, oftentimes the fear of not knowing how you're going to get by or survive and not having that support keeps them in a situation where they know and maybe they really need to get out of. So please share this episode with them and let them know that Maryvale is here as a resource here in the San Gabriel Valley. If you like this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share. And you can check out our full catalog of episodes on our website at mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Wormuth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind of mother.